Well, we're a day away. Tomorrow at midnight, the government is going to run out of its funding, and there will be a shutdown pending some kind of breakthrough between Republicans here on the Hill, Democrats on the Hill, and the White House. We know there is a 3 o'clock meeting today between the Democratic and Republican leaders and President Trump, although based on everything we've heard from both sides at this point, neither side is really hopeful that that meeting is going to produce the breakthrough that eventually stops a shutdown. We've heard from members on the right and the left. It seems like at this point, the preparation is not for how to avoid a shutdown, but later on, how do you get out of one? It almost seems inevitable at this point. Obviously, there are some serious differences here. Democrats are demanding, rather than just voting on a bill that extends the current funding levels, they want a renewal of the Obamacare subsidies that are set to expire at the end of this year. Those are federal payments that, for anyone on the Obamacare exchange, has been helping them over the last few years pay for their premiums. They also want some money that was cut out of the Medicaid program in the One Big Beautiful Bill to be returned to that program. And they say that unless they get guarantees, President Trump will not move forward on rescissions, meaning when Congress passes something, the president has, over the last couple of months, been pushing Congress to pass bills taking some of that money back. Democrats say unless they get all three of those things, at least that's their posture right now, they're not going to vote for a temporary funding bill that Republicans have put together on their own without negotiating with the other side. Republicans, of course, they are saying, this is what we want. This is just the bill that funds the government at the current levels, and that is it. Just move it forward for a couple of more weeks to give both sides time to negotiate more of a long-term funding deal. And they are entrenched in their position. Democrats also seem pretty dug in on their side as well. We've heard from leaders on both sides already today. This is Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic House leader, just a couple hours ago, again, making clear what, in his view, the stakes are here.
We've made clear that we are willing to find a bipartisan path forward on a spending bill negotiated by Democrats and Republicans. But it has to meet the needs of the American people. We're not going to simply go along to get along with a Republican bill that continues to gut the health care of everyday Americans who are already living with this Trump economy where costs aren't going down, but they're going up. Inflation is going up. Donald Trump and Republicans promised to lower the high cost of living on day one. That hasn't happened.
But you think he's ready?
And now we're on the brink of tens of millions of Americans literally experiencing premiums that are going to increase by thousands of dollars a year.
And Jeffries seemingly on the same page with his Senate counterpart, Chuck Schumer. Last go around, back in March, the same situation was approaching, and actually Schumer sort of turned the page and decided that he, along with 9 other Senate Democrats, were going to vote with Republicans and avoid a shutdown. Doesn't seem like that's going to be the case this time. They seem to be in lockstep now. On the Republican side, we're also hearing from leadership today. There was a conference call this morning where House Republican leaders told their members basically stay united. They feel like the public generally is going to side with them on their issues. They say that Democrats simply want to provide health care to people who are undocumented. That's a claim that Democrats push back on. But this is what we heard from leader John Thune, the Senate Republican leader, today in an op-ed in the Washington Post. He says there's a difference between careful discussion and negotiation during the appropriations process and taking government funding hostage to jam more than $1 trillion in big government spending in a funding bill designed to last mere weeks. Major decisions should not be made in haste. They certainly shouldn't be made because one party is threatening to shut down the government if it doesn't get its way. Now, Nichole, those talking points have been the same, and either side, both of them, have maintained those talking points for the last couple of weeks. I think it's telling that just the day before the shutdown is the first time that the White House and both sides in Congress are getting together. So again, it does not look good if you're someone hoping to avoid a shutdown. If you're a federal worker who may get furloughed, who may get laid off, this is a serious concern, and the most likely outcome at this point is that we will see a shutdown at the end of the day tomorrow.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.